As part of 3801's Central West tour back in June, we see the locomotive pulling in at Campbelltown Station from Thirlmere with the Blue Mounatins Flyer on Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. The locomotive will stop here to pick up booked passengers on their one-way trip to Lithgow. Despite the cold, wet winter rain, 3801 provided some lovely atmosphere. (4201) from the New South Wales Rail Museum is seen assisting the train. After the Campbelltown passengers hopped on board, 3801, with its beautiful rhythmic chuffing sound, now heads off towards Lithgow, ready for its Central West tour until June 14th. For a brief moment, we saw 4702 from the Lachlan Valley Railway pulling into Kiama Station with 5917 after taking passengers on a shuttle trip to Albion Park in the Illawarra region. This all happened on Monday, June 14, 2021 during the Queen's Birthday long weekend. Between the Saturday and Sunday, 5917 had conducted trips from Wollongong to Scarborough as well. Once the passengers had disembarked, 5917 will now make its way to Bombo before heading back to Sydney later on in the night. 5917 shuttle trips in the south coast was the last steam trip we saw back in June 2021. After that, New South Wales had gone into a second lockdown for 3 months due to the surge of COVID cases of the Delta variant, which was first identified in India in December 2020. Because of the lockdowns, planned mainline trips were cancelled, including 4 3801-7 Highlander trips to Mossvale. The usual shuttle trains at Thirlmere were halted, and events like the annual Hunter Valley Steamfest in Maitland, which was delayed from April to September, was cancelled as well due to the restrictions and lockdown measures at the time. But now, with restrictions easing in New South Wales due to the increasing numbers of double-dose vaccinations, steam had returned to the Thirlmere Loop line from Saturday, November 6, 2021, with 3265 from the Powerhouse Museum, also known as the Museum of Applied Arts and Sciences, hauling the shuttle trains. Because of the recent upgrade of the line leading to Colo Vale, which is beyond the usual shuttle route to Buxton, 3265 will be making 4 trips to Picton Landmark instead on a wet, dismal and stormy spring Sunday, November 7th, 2021. 4807 from the museum will lead on the forward journey since there are no facilities to turn 3265. .3265 now leads the train to Thirlmere on the return. While 3265 takes on water at Thirlmere, we see 3801 placed on display amongst the vast museum collection at the New South Wales Rail Museum. Despite a successful comeback tour during the year, and its March relaunch being included in the SBS documentary series Inside Central Station, its mainline season had to be cut short due to the lockdowns. 3801 will be back on the mainline in the year 2022, and we're looking forward to covering the famous locomotive in the upcoming new year.
This is apparently the most special. Well, it's usual, the flying engineering group.
To conclude the day, We see 4807 once again leading the train to Picton. Despite the dismal day, rain or shine, it's great to see steam back out and running again after 3 months of lockdown. 3265 now once again lead the train back to Thirlmere, with some wheel slippage due to the wet and stormy weather. The popular picnic train service, run by Sydney Rail Services, was once again the sole running mainline steam operator, like in 2020, after New South Wales' 3-month COVID lockdown period. On Saturday, November 27, 2021, 5917 had departed from Tempe with its first picnic train service since May 2021. The locomotive is seen pulling in at Hurstville to collect booked passengers. With booked passengers on board, 5917 now departs Hurstville for Sutherland and Wollongong for more passengers, and then will make a special stop at Albion Park for the weekend to drop off passengers for the Wings over Illawarra Air Show before heading to Kiama. On the return journey, 5917 passes by Mortdale before dropping off its Hurstville-bound passengers. Next day, Sunday, November 28th, we follow the locomotive and its train to Kiama. Here we see it thundering by Como. And then we see it thundering through Engadine after picking up passengers at Sutherland. We now move to the south coast, and after dropping off passengers at Albion Park for the air show, we see the locomotive at Shell Harbour Junction Station heading towards Kiama. At Kiama, 5917 now shuts its train out of the way. And then will make its way to be turned onto the turntable, ready for the return journey to Tempe. Usually we would see 5917 or a gas locomotive being filled with coal, as in previous Rail Around New South Wales videos. But on this occasion, 5917 wasn't in need of extra coal. It's now late afternoon, and it's time for 5917 to end its first spring weekend with the picnic train. As we wait, a freight train with 8222, 8101, 8209, and 8134 from Pacific National passing by on the bridge near High Marsh Park. Later on, 5917 is now shunting itself to be coupled to its train, ready to head for Tempe. After that, 5917 now heads for home. Although this is where we sign off for the year 2021, More of these picnic trains between December 4th to the 21st will be in another Rail Around New South Wales video in the near future. "2021 had seen more SEAM action in New South Wales than 2020, despite the lockdown period between June to October. We hope to cover the 2022 New South Wales steam season full on, but as always you have to expect the unexpected. We'd like to thank every New South Wales Rail Heritage organisation who had made this year possible, and we are looking forward to see what the future may lie ahead in 2022. Thank you all for watching Rail Around New South Wales for 2021.